What is up, guys? Happy Monday. Today is the Monday Basics, so we're gonna cover some, basic things, some things that you guys can help on, and we're gonna go ahead and look at some opportunities you may have for the week. That way, we can go ahead and, get a nice bias for you guys. The first chart we're looking at is from Jasmine, and she is looking at USD CAD. It looks like. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. This is on the 1 hour time frame, it looks like. And I do like this structure. I'm not sure if the market has already blown past this or not, to be honest. But I do like, is this the Dow Jones? Wait, what is this, Jasmine? Because I see like USD CAD right here, and I also see the Dow Jones.
Yeah, I don't know why it shows like that, but it's USD 30, US 30.
Okay, it is US 30. Okay, cool. Um, but I do like this. Obviously, there was a lot of trendline liquidity happening right here, right? Trendline liquidity. And then we also get some consolidation, right? Simple consolidation. And what do we see right after that? The market drops and takes out all these trendline traders, right? So I do like this area in the market, right? She has phased one markup, which is her consolidation, right? We have phase two, which is the BOS to the downside, which is very, very clean in my opinion. And then what happens next? We got a nice strong push up, which gives us an inverted setup, right? Not only that, like once we have this change of direction with this breakout rally right here, we have a starting point in this area, right? Obviously, she has her entry zone a bit lower, which is perfectly fine. But this is something to keep in mind because we do have a starting point. Not only that, we have a left shoulder right in the middle of that as well. So, if you're going to enter off something like this, this would be a pretty big stop loss. If you're entering in somewhere, whether it's the starting point here or this area, your stop loss would have to be below this. And that's kind of big, especially for US 30, like 1 hour time frame. This is probably like 300 pips, so just keep that in mind. So, what I like to do with things like this, right? I know my favorite spots to enter are on the shoulder zones, right? Now, as the market is coming down, guys, we focus on breaks of structures. We always focus on our break of structures to the downside. And whenever we get that change of direction, we know it's game time. So I can even have drawdown, right? And maybe the market's coming down to Jasmine's entry. Now, as soon as we get this entry here, we need to focus on this change of character. If we can get this right here, right, we can now start looking to participate into enter a bit more. Let's say you didn't take this trade because you were just waiting for this whole confirmation to play out, then you're entering right here, which is the safer move, right? Especially like let's just say you're entering, around this area, you still have this whole space till the market can reverse. If you're entering right here, the market can go lower because it has space to move, right? It has space to roam. So you would be in drawdown if you'd entered right here. But as soon as we get something that looks like this, and we now have confirmation, we can now enter with something right here and shoot that market up, and we'll have a much better risk to reward in that area. Does that make sense, guys? Give me a two if that makes sense. But I do like the structure that you're looking at. I have the same exact zone. I also have zones down here as well, just in case the market wants to go ahead and use this as a shoulder because that is a shoulder technically, right? We do have support. This would be my neckline, head, change of direction. So this can also be used as an entry area, which would give us a much better risk to reward. But I like this. I do like this. It's just a waiting game as of right now, Jasmine. You know how that goes. But make sure you set your alerts. I don't see any alerts right here. I don't see any alerts. I'm not trying to pick on you, but we need to have these alerts set. If you don't have alerts, if you don't have trading you purchased, it's okay. Go to levels. There's 100 alerts for you guys. So if you guys have access to levels, guys, you guys have 100 alerts. 100. Even with like the medium pack, the middle pack for trading view, you're still limited to like 30. So keep that in mind. So if you have levels, make sure you're using those things. But I do like this. Okay, so all right, so I see imbalance. Let's see. Is that how you pronounce your name? I hope it is. Let's see.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. When it comes to imbalances and levels, we don't really focus on imbalances for our entries or anything really. So this wouldn't really be a call for you. I mean, I can show you what an imbalance is, and just to clarify, but like if you're looking to enter off of imbalances, we don't really do that. Um, so yeah, just something to keep in mind. Not that this call isn't for you. I shouldn't have said that, but like if you're looking to enter off of imbalances, I would definitely tap into the smart money side, which is Neri, Geo, Jack, obviously any of the Go Live educators, Siva, Valentino, Jordan, and Zach. Make sure you watch those guys when it comes to imbalances. And the reason why I don't focus on imbalances personally for myself, right? Because I can see imbalances everywhere. If this is my change of direction right here, right? I have an imbalance here. I have a slight imbalance. No, it looks like that was taken. I have an imbalance here, and I have an imbalance here, right? So which one do I take? That's why I was always confused when it came off or finding entries off of imbalances, right? So I don't want to confuse you, but that's why for me, I never use imbalances because I'm always like, well, shit. Sometimes like 3 candles or 4 candles will give you 3 to 4 imbalances in a row. So I'm like, in my head, I'm like, well, which one do I take, right? But when it comes to levels, the good thing about levels is we keep everything very, very simple when it comes to our structure, right? So let's just say we were looking for buy opportunities. And I'm gonna just break this down briefly, right? The first thing that we want to identify is consolidation. This helps us a lot, right? If you're able to see the market move sideways, this is, support and resistance. People are trading within support and resistance, but this is consolidation. Does anybody know what consolidation is?
Money being built up.
It's money being built up, right? So there are people who trade support and resistance. I personally do not trade it, but I like to see it in my strategy, right? Money is being built up, meaning people are selling at this resistance and people are buying at this support. Does this make sense, guys? Give me a 1 if this is making sense so far. And what I like to do that Jasmine did for phase 1, I like to break up the head and shoulder pattern into phases. And for let me see. For AD to Dawn, this goes hand in hand with smart money concepts, right? So I'm gonna try to break this down as simple as I can for you guys, right? When I see consolidation, guys, this is phase 1 for my head and shoulder pattern / smart money pattern. Oh my God, I cannot spell. The first thing I want to see in this smart money / head and shoulder pattern, I want to see consolidation first, right? And what Jasmine does is she boxes that up, right? She boxed it up. She trapped the market, right? So right now the market is trapped, and as long as it stays trapped, that is a good thing, right? That's fine, right? Let the market stay trapped in that. The more the market stays trapped, the more money is being built up, right? Now, the second thing I want to see is a break of structure / liquidity sweep. BOS / liquidity sweep. Now I'm adding liquidity sweep for our smart money traders in here, but we keep it simple. When it comes to levels, we keep it very, very simple with simple terminology. Now, when you see or hear of liquidity sweep and smart money, you're thinking institutional move, right? Usually an institutional move is what drives price that sweeps liquidity. Does that make sense, guys? For all my smart money traders, does that make sense? Let me know. You guys could unmute for sure. Right? When you see a break of structure, right? For me, I just want to see the market drop down and give me a BOS. And I like to label this, right? I like to label this and just put BOS, right? Simple terminology. You have to break a structure to the downside, right? Because trading's already kind of hard. Like we kind of make it hard. You know what I'm saying? Overthinking and whatnot. So for me, I want to keep everything super, super kindergarten grade level simple. Especially not just for you guys, bro, for myself. Like I'm an overthinker, bro, by nature, right? So if I can keep trading simple for myself, I'm gonna do that 100%, right? So phase two, you want to see a liquidity sweep or a breakage structure. Now, phase three. Phase three is you want to see a change of direction. So if the market's first move was to drop down, the second move we want to see is to continue to the upside. And if we can go ahead, this would actually be red. Right? Once we get this change of direction to the upside, I want to go ahead and label that. Let me see. AD, does this market structure look familiar, bro? Does this market structure look familiar to you? The only way I can help you guys is if you guys respond. If you guys are going to ask questions, I need you guys to participate, right? Because then I don't know if you guys are stuck or not. But I'm just going to keep going, right? The third thing we need to see is a change of direction. Guys, once we see that the market swept liquidity, gave us that breakage structure to the downside, and then right away the market just reverses, that's a good thing, right? That's a good thing for us because then we have the head and shoulder pattern, right? So for me, where do I look for my entries as a levels trader, right? And this is what made trading levels so easy for me, right? I'm not looking for an imbalance between an imbalance between an imbalance, right? Where's my very last breakage structure, guys? Who can highlight and annotate on my chart? Yeah, my last BOS is right here. And this is how we do it. Let's just say this is a candle, right? I want to look for the lowest wick inside that area. So let's just say my zone starts here. My zone starts at the lowest wick to the closest body. So let's just put it right here where the box starts. That's where my zone goes. That's my buy zone, guys. I find the lowest wick to my closest body. Now let's just say this, it's a bit deeper. Let's say my lowest wick is down here. That means my zone starts at this lowest wick and I lift up my zone to my closest body point. So then that's my zone. Let's say my lowest wick is actually very, very tight. Then my zone starts at that low wick and I bring it up to my closest body. Then this is my zone right here. If whoever drew this blue line, could you guys delete that? That'd be amazing. Thank you. Does that make sense? Give me a 5 if that makes sense. AD, I'm literally breaking down smart money in simple terminology, bro. Right? Very, very simple. Now, this is the thing. Where is my entry? Well, one, I want to enter here. Right? My stop loss will always be at the dominant low. Right? Sometimes the market structure will give you a really big stop loss. Let's just say, for example, this is a big stop loss for you. And you're used to putting stop losses like this. Guys, do not do that. If the market gave you a dominant low to use that as your stop loss. If the stop loss is too big, and let's say, oh, I'm not used to risking this or whatever, guys, under leverage. Under leverage, everything is controllable in trading. What you risk is the one thing that you have full control over, right? So this can be a $50 loss. This can be a $50 loss. This can be a $50 loss. It's all about calculating your lot size. Give me a 2 if that makes sense. Let me know, guys. Now, let's see. Now, Anthony, this is where we get our extra confirmation. Anthony, are you able to see this, bro? Are you able to identify this type of structure, my boy?
Yeah.
You let me know, Anthony. Are you able to identify this structure?
Validation.
I'm sorry?
Validation. What do you mean by that though?
Like, are you able to identify the head and shoulder setup when it's time to?
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Okay, so since you understand how to identify this right here, for extra confirmation, bro, we want to see the same thing happen off of this zone, right? So as the market is right here right now, market is right here. We're not buying because we see lots of momentum. We're not going to be doing that. We want to wait for the market to make its way back to me. Now, I know I'm waiting right here for possible buys, right? So anytime that the market gives me a break of structure to the downside, bro, I need to confirm this. That's my BOS. So let's go ahead. BOS to the downside, my bearish BOS, put that on the bottom. And my change of direction line will be here. You guys probably think like, oh, it can't be that simple. Bro, I promise you, it is. Market pulls back, gives me a break of structure to the downside. Let's just continue to adjust our lines. Let's continue to adjust our lines. Let's say the market just continues to drop. Cool, no worries. That's exactly what I want to see. I'm looking at a live chart, can confirm.
No, I'm actually waiting for that on gold right now.
Nice, bro. I mean, I'm waiting for the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
thing, right? And we can look at it in a minute, actually. So we know we want to buy here, guys. As long as the market continues to do its thing and you're able to see break of structures to the downside, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. We still haven't entered any trades yet, but this is a good thing. The market is almost at our zone. Let's say the market pushes one more time into our zone. That's good. BOS, we finally have been able to get into an entry here. Now, the thing is we can test trade this, or we can just go with our one percenter. I mean, I'm a big fan of test trading, especially with commodities and with indices. Now, if we can get the market to make its way above and change direction, guys, we are now correct. The market let us know that it was correct. So let's go ahead, change of direction to the upside, right? Because again, guys, the market's first moves were to the downside, right? The market's original moves in this area was to the downside. So as soon as we get this change of direction to the upside, guys, it's game time. So can you guys see the same exact pattern? This small tiny pattern, is it identical as this big pattern here? What do you guys think?
Deserve.
Yes, right? So when we're able to see this on that lower time frame, we don't have to be like, oh, I'm dropping down to the 1 minute to see. No, we can drop down to 1 or 2 time frames. Let's say this is the 1 hour. We can see this on the 15 or on the 5. Let's say this is the 4 hour or daily. We can see this on the 4 hour or 1 hour, right? Just because like, you know, we want to see something very like, we don't have to drop down to the lower 1 minute time frames, guys. Like I'm personally not even a fan of the 1 minute, just because I get, you know, I get got and manipulated sometimes, being playing too aggressive, right? And I've noticed on that 5 to 15 minute, that's like the sweet spot for, you know, market corrections. But if you're able to see this, guys, this is the confirmation. That is my confirmation. Because if the market does not break and close above this line, guys, we can literally touch that line and just continue down. Literally. The market can literally touch this line, maybe even throw a wick above, but if the market does not break and close above that line, we can continue to the downside. Does that make sense, guys? Give me a 3 if that makes sense. This right here is so important. And a lot of people like to play aggressive, and I get it, so do I. But sometimes we play too aggressive without getting an actual change of direction, right? So that's something we definitely want to be aware of, for sure. But let's see. Does this make sense on why I like to trade levels with the breaker structure because it keeps everything simple? Does that make sense? If you're confused at all, please let me know. Like, I don't mind breaking things down a little bit more in depth. Does anybody have any questions? And understand, guys, it's the same structure as smart money. We just keep things simple, right? We may even have slightly different entries, but we keep things simple and duplicatable. Now, if we're looking at this, oh, sorry, let's phase 4. Let's just update this because I
Hey,
know
Vinny,
somebody's
can
taking notes.
I wanted to ask something too about
What's
break.
up?
I wanted to ask them too about like support and resistance.
Yes,
You know
sir.
how they had the levels. Would that affect it in any way as well?
What do you mean exactly? Support and resistance.
So like previous support and resistance from like previous consolidation. Because sometimes I'll see that and then I'll see like on a previous, like let's say resistance, like it's going up, right? And then our previous resistance level, like before where it broke through, but then like it kind of comes back to the area, that same level, and it goes back up.
Sometimes it does hold it. Sometimes that market structure does hold. So sometimes it's not always going to come back right away. That's a great question actually. So let's just say, maybe there was, some support or resistance right here, right? And then the market drops. Now, let's just delete this real quick. Let's say the market makes its way and closes above this structure. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or no?
Yeah, so like if it breaks that structure and then it comes back to the area, and let's say we had that same setup right there, and then it just kind of bounces off that resistance level again, or after
Sometimes
it
it
breaks
does do
through.
that. Sometimes it'll bounce off and then continue to go.
Yeah. Okay, okay.
Sometimes it does do that. Now, I don't usually trade off that exactly, but how can you have more confidence, or maybe how can you understand if the market is going to respect this and not come down here right away? Right? Let's just move this a bit lower. Because sometimes that happens, and that's why we ask these questions on these calls, guys, right? I know I want the market to come down here. But at the end of the day, if the market wants to go ahead and drop, what should we be doing as the market is dropping to my entry, guys?
Marking.
Marking up your breaker structures and your change of character line. So let's just say the market gives me one more BOS at the downside, touches this. Maybe we don't even get in on the first touch because again, we're waiting down here. But what if the market bounces off that resistance and the market changes direction? What do you think the market wants to do now after just getting this confirmation here?
Wants to go higher.
It wants to go higher. There's so much momentum and money being pumped into the market right now that it's saying, you know what? I'm going to save this zone for later and hopefully they forget about it. And I'm just going to continue going higher. So all you have to do is, yes, Shani, set your alerts. I like to take opportunities as they come because the market can definitely take this and send the market higher. And then they'll just, they'll save this market or this zone for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, a year. They'll save this zone for later. And when you least expect it, they're going to make their way back slowly but surely. Come back into the zone and then take off. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it made sense.
So even if you don't trade off of that specifically, what we want to focus on, the most important, is this right here. We want to focus on that structure as much as possible. Because if the market gives us everything we need to see, bro, let's take opportunities. Let's take these opportunities and continue to send the market higher. Make sense? Does anybody have any questions before we continue? That way we can go ahead and look at it on the live chart. Any questions at all? With this right here, guys, this is what I go by when it when it comes to finding opportunities, especially with Head and Shoulders, guys, keep it simple. Like, even if you look at it like this, just to find smart money structure. If you like smart money entries, bro, stick with your smart money entries. But if it's easier to identify your smart money structure in 4 phases, so be it. Right? This is simple levels terminology. Right? But if we broke this up in smart money terms, right, we'll have liquidity. Right? This isn't to confuse anybody, but I know we have smart money traders on this call as well. Right? We have liquidity, institutional move, imbalance to the upside. Guys, it's the same structure, bro. Do not get confused. If you're confused with learning smart money, but you understand levels, bro, you're trading it. Don't overthink it. If you're grasping levels over smart money at the moment, bro, just lock in with levels, and in 2, 3, 4, 5 months, you're gonna see smart money in a total different way. I promise you, because that's what I did. I couldn't learn smart money, bro. Like, mitigation, what is that? Institutional move. They're showing me what an institutional move is, and I'm like, bro, I don't see it. Right? So, but once I understood the Head and Shoulder in 4 phases, like, bro, it made so much more sense. And I was able to actually understand smart money more in depth. So, guys, this right here, solid. This is something that we have to wait for. Consolidation, break a structure, change of direction. This all takes time. And as soon as we get this change of direction right here, guys, as soon as we get that change of direction, it's go time. We can now start looking for our entry. And we just went over where our entry is, right? If our wick is this low, well, then you know what? We're going to go ahead and adjust. This is our zone, right? I know where I want to enter. I know where my stop loss is with the minimum 1 to 3 risk to reward, guys. So as the market's dropping down, if you want to wait for extra confirmation, you wait for this to happen right here so you can get in, right? Any questions before we go to live charts? Any questions at all? We're good. I see that we have a couple people sending in charts, and we can even go back to this one right here, right? Look at this, guys. This is what Jasmine's looking at. This is what I'm looking at as well. Phase 1, right? Phase 2, phase 3. Now look at Anthony. Isn't this what happened? Market respected this resistance, went higher. Market broke and closed above, respected the structure, went higher. Market respected the structure, went higher. So they're saving somewhere in this area for later. When? I don't know, but I'll be waiting for that movement. Super, super clean markup, Jasmine, for sure. Let's see what Anthony's looking at. This is gold on the 4-hour time frame. We can go ahead and take a look at that right here. But for sure, guys, I would go ahead and take a screenshot of this, because this right here is key, guys, for sure. Everybody should understand this. Everybody should understand the Head and Shoulder setup. Right, so make sure you take your screenshot so we can go ahead and continue. But let's go ahead and we'll look at gold. Four-hour. This is 4-hour on gold. Man, it respected this for sure. All right, so let's zoom out. All right, let's go to a higher time frame. Look at this, guys. On the weekly time frame, and I'm always jumping up just to make things a bit cleaner. Right, on the weekly time frame, I have an entry way down here. This is my starting point. Let's drop down to the daily and refine. Now on the daily time frame, my starting point is way down here, and that's okay. Right, that's something I want to wait for. but we also have an entry a bit higher, right? We also have a break of structure right here. Now, how do I know the market is going to respect that? Right? How can I know the market is going to respect this? Now, without even dropping down to a lower time frame, because guys, if you really don't have to, right, especially as a beginner, if you can see everything you need to see on the time frame you are on, you just have to wait. Can I get a 1 if that makes sense? If you can see everything on the time frame you're marking it up on, you just have to wait. Now, this is the daily time frame. How long could this take? I don't know. Could take 4 days, could take a week, could take 2 weeks. But it's just a waiting game, guys. So look, guys, this is my buy zone, right? What phase is this in the head and shoulder pattern? Is this phase 2, phase 3, or phase 4? Anybody else? I only see Shawnee, Anthony, and Hugo. What phase is this? Phase 2, phase 3, or phase 4? You guys can be wrong. It's okay. Let's be wrong together. Let's go. Couldn't even fool y'all. I didn't even say phase 1, and y'all like, nah, this guy's tripping. It's phase 1. That's good. Right? Phase 1. I'm going to box it up like Jasmine did. Box it up like Jasmine did. Bet. Right? I have the market trapped right now. Now, guys, do we have a breakage structure to the downside? Would you consider this a BOS to the downside, guys? Yes, right? So this right here is phase 2. What am I waiting for? I have phase 2, I have phase 1, and phase 2. I need my change of direction. Let's go to the 4 hour real quick. I'm gonna use this. I need my change of direction. So look, the market poked above. At one point, this wick was fully green, just like this candle. And then what happened? It dropped down and left the wick. So I still need the market to continue going higher. Once we get this, I finally have my change of direction. I finally have phase 3. Does that make sense? Give me a 1 if that makes sense, and give me a question mark if you're confused, guys. Oh, give me a second. We're good? All right, awesome. So once we get this, where's my entry, guys? Who wrote it down? Where am I taking my entries at? Anybody know? We can be wrong together, guys. It's okay. I don't care if you're wrong. I just want you to participate. I have phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. If you know where we want to enter, go ahead and draw it up, guys. It's okay. Go ahead and draw it up in my chart. We're good. Well, we already entered here, right? This was our entry and the market entered here. So yes, our next setup would be right here. Notice this is also a setup, yes, if we can actually get something that looks like this, right? A breakout rally, our new starting point would be right here, right? If this just happened to play out the way it does, that would be my next starting point. But my left shoulder, if this is the lowest wick, yes, Carlos, if this is my lowest wick right here, my zone starts right here at this low wick, and I'm gonna pull my zone up till it hits a body candle. And it looks like it's going to be this green one here. Boom. That's my buy zone. So as soon as we get this, guys, and we get that change of character, this is what I'm looking at on the daily time frame. My stop loss is at this low. Minimum 1 to 3 risk to award. Minimum 1 to 3. Does that make sense, guys? Now let's see. I'm not trying to make fun of smart money or even say anything wrong or negative about it, right? But look at this is a giant ass imbalance, bro. Right? I know for a fact people like to drop down and try to make things tighter, right? Now, if we just keep dropping down, inside of this candle might even be more imbalances, right? So look, now we have two more. Which one do I take? I have an imbalance there, and I have an imbalance here. This is where, like, for me, I don't want to be confused, right? I don't want to be confused. So what I do is I just stick to the structure. I know I want to go ahead and take opportunities at this zone, so I'm gonna stay consistent with that. Does that make sense, guys? Let me know. So on the daily time frame, this is what I would be waiting for, right? Now let's drop down. If anybody has any questions, guys, feel free to unmute. I don't bite, bro. Right? So let's go ahead. We'll drop down a bit lower to see if we can redefine. Oh man, now look at this, guys. On the 4-hour time frame, we have a zone just a bit lower. Now I'm gonna drop down one more time to go to the 2-hour because I want things to be clean, right? Notice, guys, this is my buy zone. This green box, right? But notice, I'm just gonna clean this up a little bit. If this is my breakage structure, do you see a closer breakage structure inside of this green box anywhere, guys? Draw it up, Shawnee. If you can see it, draw it up on my chart. I need to see a close pullback inside my chart or inside my buy zone. Yes. Look at the structure, guys. Lower low, lower high, BOS. Lower low, lower high, BOS. So let's go ahead. We'll mark this up as a breakage structure because it is one. And my change of character line on the 2-hour time frame is right here. Do we have a change of direction? Yes. So look at this. Anthony, this was your confirmation, bro. This was it right here. If this is the lowest wick, right? My box goes from the lowest wick to my closest body point. And it looks like it's going to be this red candle here. My last breakage structure. My low is my stop loss, right? And I know it, guys. Somebody's going to be like, nah, this stop loss is too big for me. I don't risk 28 pips. Like, bro, get out of here. Like, get out of here with that. A lot of us trade indices in the morning. A lot of us are risking a little bit more than 28 pips every trade on the indices, right? So get that out of your head, guys. Like, oh, I only trade X amount of pips, or my stop loss is only 20 pips, or 15 pips, or 12 pips. Like, bro, get that out of your head, right? When trading levels, we focus on structure giving us our entry and our stop loss. If the structure gave me this as my entry, the structure gave me this as my stop loss. So I know where I want to enter. I know where my stop loss goes with the minimum 1 to 3 risk to reward. Now, obviously, this would be a potential swing. So if I know this is my daily change of character right here, I can potentially hold that to that change of character. And that trade right there was pretty much a 1 to 5. So whatever I was risking, whether it was $10, my profit would have been $50. If I was risking 100, my profit would have been 500. If I was risking 1,000, my profit would have been 5,000. Does that make sense? Anthony, bro, this is your confirmation that you are looking for, bro. You see how simple it is? Like, I'm not even trying to pick on you, but do you guys just understand how simple trading could be when you mark up your breaks and structures and understand where your change of character line goes? Like, it's honestly very simple. Like, I'm not worried about, oh, where's this mitigation happening at? You know, I don't see mitigation, or I don't see an institutional move. You know, like, bro, sometimes I can't even spot an institutional move, bro. But I can spot a break of structure. I can definitely spot a break of structure. And I understand where my change of character line goes. Right? So in my opinion, this right here was fire. Right? We had a nice opportunity here with a daily starting point. And market structure literally gave us a solid change of direction. Left shoulder, neckline, head, change of direction, came right back. This one didn't take long. It didn't continue up higher. It literally came right back and said, we out of here. If you missed it, that's on you, my boy. When I pull out the little homie, this is it right here. Do we have Isha on the call? Isha likes the little homie. I like the little homie too, to be honest with you. Bow. The little homie helps me spot my inverteds, right? But now, this is it. The market looks like it's fairly bullish now, right? Which is fine. Like everybody was looking for, bullish moves in the market anyways. The homie. Now levels, look at levels is already doing me a solid. I know that I have an opportunity down here focused on my starting point, right? So just something to keep in mind. But levels is saying, yo, we have a possibility right here. If I see a blue arrow, guys, if I see a blue arrow, I want to match that with the blue bulls button. And levels is saying, yo, we have a possible buy continuation right here. But look, Anthony, how do I know that the market is going to respect this? Well, what do you think, Anthony? If I'm looking for buys here, how do I know the market is going to respect it?
If it goes the same direction and gets the break of structures to the downside, and then it gets the change of character right after.
Yes, sir. Yeah, bro. That's it.
Yep.
If we see the breaks of structures, I know I'm thinking buys, right? But still, structure will present itself right to the downside. We have a bearish BOS, right, guys? And this is why I love to mark up my charts, right? I know on the 4-hour time frame, the market gave me a bullish BOS. And this is where understanding trend, long-term trend and short-term trend, it really helps you, really benefits you. So if I know long-term, right, gold's been bullish, right? What should we be looking for if the market's been bullish with gold? Who knows? If the market's been bullish, we should be looking for buys. Thank you, Giselle. We should be looking for some buys, right? Now, again, market gave me a long-term trend, BOS, and on the way down, it gave me a short-term trend, BOS, to the downside. Right, so understanding these directions helps a lot. Now, if we go back down to that 1-hour time frame, market said, yo, we're looking for buy still. Okay, cool. But don't get confused when the market starts giving you bearish BOS is thinking, oh, we're selling now. Always follow the trend, guys. If the market continues to break structures to the downside in this area, that's fine. Let the market give you that change of direction. If the market continues to drop, we don't have to get into this trade, right? We do not have to get into this trade. But if the market does respect this structure and gives us the change of direction, Anthony, when the market comes back into this area, bro, we need to start pulling some triggers, my boy, so we can shift that market and continue with that bullishness. Does that make sense, bro?
Yes, sir.
And again, if you can see all of this play out on the 1-hour time frame, you do not have to drop lower. You just have to stay patient. That's the thing too, right? Understand when we see things like this, we want to so bad drop lower. When we drop lower, what does that tell us? We want to be aggressive. We want to make the moves now. We want to see what we need to see happen right now.
Getting that
But
FOMO.
guys, if we just wait and just set an alert, boom, as soon as the market breaks and closes, we'll be notified so we can go ahead and start making the proper moves. And this is where the break and close alerts, guys, so clutch. I think Levels even has a break and close alert as well. So I'm gonna teach you guys how to do that right now. So if I'm waiting for buys, and this is like the gem, guys, right? If you're not on this call, then you're not really gonna know how to use this exactly, this tool exactly, right? So if I'm waiting for buys, right? I wanna set an alert at this change of direction, but for a crossing up with a break and close. A crossing up with a break and close, right? Now let's just take a look at this real quick. Alerts. It has a crossing, which means as soon as the market touches and crosses this line, you will be notified. But does that confirm anything just because the market touched and crossed over? Does that confirm anything? No. We need the market to break and close above. So just because the market touched it, that doesn't mean we're looking for buys yet, right? Even if the market was up here, if that candle closes down here, we're not looking for buys yet. Crossing up and crossing down is what we want. I never, or even closed above or closed below. That's how you do it. On TradingView, it's crossing up and crossing down with the break and close. But this on Levels, it says closed above or closed below. So in this example, we want closed above. So we're not going to get an alert and we're not going to be notified unless the market breaks and closes above. Now I have these numbers here. You always need to put a line here in order to get accurate numbers. So obviously my number that I have right there is 3341.75. And you always need to change this for some reason. Not sure why, but I like to just put 2016. 2016. And it should be good. I'm not sure. Hold on. 2016. 2016, but I'm living in the past. That's wild. Right? Because it only gives you like the expiration, it'll just automatically give you like 24 hours. So you want to give yourself some time for this alert to last. Right? So let's just say alert name, gold buy opportunities. Right? I want to show pop up and play sound. And as soon as I press this, guys, the heck? Where'd it go?
You had a 6 in there, Vinny. It was like 33,641 or something like that.
Oh yeah, I put wrong numbers. All right, well let's just do it again. Closed above 3341.75. Not 2016, 2026. Gold buy opportunity. Buy. Show pop up, play sound. 334175, 334175. Now once I press this, we should have an alert. Boom. Perfect. So again, guys, this is a crossing above or closed above alert. So as soon as the market touches it, I will not be notified. The market can play around and touch it all it wants. Touch, touch, touch. But as soon as the market breaks and closes above, now we get notified. Guys, I don't know who's gonna put this to work, but this is a game changer. I promise you. Because then you're not gonna be checking your chart every day or every 5 minutes or every hour. If your alert does not go off, you have no opportunity. This is where the phases come into play. What if we have consolidation? Okay, cool. Phase 1. We have phase 2. The break is structured to the downside. Okay, cool. Cool. What are we waiting for now when it comes to the phases in our head and shoulder setup? We have phase 1. We have phase 2. We need the change of direction. As soon as the market breaks and closes above, this alert will go off. I have phase 3. I can now start looking for phase 4, which is my entry, and shift that market up. Guys, I promise y'all that right there is a game changer. That's helped me a lot stay off the charts, right? Focus on my cutting, focus on barbering, focus on making content, things like that. I'm telling y'all, it helps a lot. And on TradingView, it works a little bit easier. Levels, it's a bit more tedious to set your alerts because there's a bit more clicking, right? When it comes down to it. But when it comes to levels, right, it's much easier, right? Where's my tools at, bro? Right, let's just say, we're looking for sales. We have phase 2 and phase 1. We're looking for a change of direction. Notice on this line, there's an alert right here. The break and close alerts only work with the lines. So alert, crossing down, once per bar close. Not once only, because if you only have once only, as soon as one candle touches it, you're going to be notified and that's it. Not once per bar, because 5 bars can touch it back to back to back to back to back, and you will be notified. Not once per minute, because let's just say one candle just keeps touching that line every other minute, you're going to be notified. We want once per bar close, crossing down. Now, as soon as the market touches this, am I going to be notified, guys? Oops. No. I will be notified as soon as the market breaks and closes below. Boom. I finally get that break and close below. We're notified. We can now start looking for sales. I'm telling y'all, somebody's going to practice this and they're going to be like, bro, I'm trading way less. I'm not looking at my charts as often. And I'm literally just waiting. Like, I'm not toxic anymore. I'm not forcing setups, right? Like, I'm a listener now, bro. Like, it's wild. Like, it was so crazy. She was telling me everything that I needed to do, and I just needed to listen. You know what I'm saying? Do you still have the confirmation list? What do you mean by that? The confirmation list? We kind of just went over that with the faces, but are you looking for something specific? Like the different stages. Yeah, you're gonna have to definitely write those down. But if you're talking about, like, I do have a couple of different ones, but I try to keep things simple for you guys. Let's see. This is the one that and it's a bit more, more tedious. It's not four phases, right? But this is my head and shoulder confirmation checklist. Right now, if I break this down, all right, let's go over here and break this down, because I don't like making things hard for you guys. Like, I really don't. If I don't like it hard for myself, like, I don't want to keep it hard for y'all. So, awareness, trend, and structure. Understanding if the market is in an uptrend or a downtrend is half of the battle, guys. If we're in an uptrend, should we be looking for buys or sells? Buys. If the market's in a downtrend, we should be looking for sells, right? Now, if we're in an uptrend, we want to focus on inverted setups. We want to focus on these so we can shift the market higher. If the market is selling, we want to focus on these so we can go ahead and continue the market sells, right? But in my opinion, that's a lot for a beginner. Like, if you're advanced, go ahead and hit this, right? But if you're someone who wants to keep trading basic, and I agree, right?
We'll get started right now, guys.
Give me a second, guys. Right, phase 1. is consolidation, phase 2, BOS / liquidity sweep, phase 3, change of direction, phase 4, entry / right shoulder. If you're someone who is new, this checklist is for you. We are not going to overdo it, guys. Like, I'm telling y'all, you guys are in the right position. This isn't like, oh, you're trying to dumb it down for me. Like, nah, bro, like this right here is the same thing right here, just more simple, right? So just take a picture of this. If you're advanced, you can use this. If you're basic, you can use this. And we'll just continue to build off of what we have, right? Just so y'all guys know. Give me a second because I do see 80 JPY 30-minute. I do like this point of entry, especially with this manipulation. I do like that. Notice how we have phase 1 right here. Right? Phase 1. Phase 2, we break and close below, giving me a BOS, just like she has it. Phase 3, change of direction. This right here is looking pretty good. I do like that. She has her stop loss in the right direction, in the right place, and she's in the right spot. It looks a bit more than a 1 to 3, but Giselle's a vet, so she knows what she's doing in the markets when it comes to money management, risk management, and things like that. She's looking for potential swings, which I get because this looks like liquidity. So if the market can make its way down, this would be, a target point in the future. So I like that, Giselle, for sure. I would just, go on a higher time frame and make sure that this lines up with anything that's on that left-hand side. But yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
Red line, one boy.
All right, got you. Same thing. We can see the structure. Phase 1. My God, Giselle, clean markup, bro. Look at how there's nothing on her chart but the structure. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Market's on its way back. Her stop loss is probably a little bit tighter than usual, but that's on her. She knows where it's supposed to go, right? But I do like this setup. So Giselle, I like your eyes and I like your chart colors. That I ain't gonna lie, I might have to bite that one of these days. You feel me? But yeah, good job. I like that structure a lot. But guys, I appreciate you guys for hopping on. I hope I gave you guys some value. A lot of you guys were asking questions, intentional questions that you guys needed answers with, and I was happy to break down that in depth because I know I needed that at the time, and I know you guys needed too. So I'm not gonna gatekeep anything that's been helping me. I'm gonna go ahead and give it to you guys. But if we had any guests on the call, I know that I promote my calls on Instagram all the time. I know we had some people promote my call on Instagram today. So if you guys found this valuable and you're like, wow, like this team really be working together and they're really making moves in the market, make sure you get back to the person that invited you on this call so we can go ahead and get you started on your investing journey, guys. Because the markets don't wait for anyone and moves are being made all the time. You know what I'm saying? So we would rather make moves with you than without you. You know what I'm saying, guys? So with that being said, fam, I hope you have a great trading week. Trade responsibly, and I will see you guys next Friday. If you guys have any setups you guys want help or feedback on, tag me so we can go ahead and get you on the right track. You guys have a great night. Peace out, guys.